the top reasons that students don't stay in college and graduate, I would say that number one is financial needs. Sometimes people can't afford to stay in college.
Commonly, there are many questions that students ask me in terms of how to ensure their financial success in Frontier and their college education. And there are several things that I always recommend to students first and foremost, just to make sure that they're well prepared. First, they should be financially literate. Understand the financial commitment that goes with education, and as well as understand the opportunities and services that are provided to help ensure degree completion in a program of study.
When a student is applying to college, they're applying to several schools. Some are going to be dream schools where they don't know if they can afford it, if they're going to get accepted. They're going to apply to target school and safety schools. Safety schools are those that they know they meet the criteria and they can afford it. The students as elementary school, the parents should start planning for college. Prepaid college is one of the programs, also savings account and scholarships.
Start asking questions. Ask parents, what provisions have you done for my college education? Are you saving any money for me? Did you take out the Florida prepaid college? Do you have any kind of savings that will help me so that I don't have to take that many loans? Or if the family is not able because of financial problems, what are the plans? Do I need to stay home and get a job to help the family? Sometimes you may have a single parent that has not only one graduating from high school but other little ones, and the parent may want to do that and help the student, but what if they can't?
Broward County and Broward College offers one of the lowest rates for a college degree. So I would encourage anybody who's comparing costs to look at the cost of coming to Broward College. You will find it very reasonable. And with financial aid in place, you can also possibly earn some financial aid to cover most of your college tuition, which also includes books and some of the fees that we offer.
We also have what's called single stop here at the Kendall campus, and I believe they have them now at Wolfson campus, and they're bringing it along in every campus. And you're asking yourself, what is single stop? Single stop is a young lady here at the Kendall campus that allows students, for those that don't have enough money to pay for school, or those that the financial aid thinks they make too much money. It allows you not only with paying for classes, it allows you with housing. It allows you if you need an attorney. It allows you to get food stamps. It allows you to get Medicaid. It allows you to get daycare for your child. So those of you that may have a kid right now, guess what? We have single stop on campus, and it's free.
Broward College has on each of our campuses a child care facility, so that students can sign up for it and bring their child to our child care facilities while they're here. Part of that will be helped financially through our financial aid offices. We do have other departments that will help students provide assistance in some of those day-to-day life issues that might come up. Taxes, legal matters, they can get the help through our student services area.
Top tier schools many times are need blind. If the student excelled academically in high school, the top tier school will offer them admission based on their academics without looking at the ability to pay, and many of the top schools have that. Now, more than anything, do they fit into their profile? What I advise my students to do is to look into the profile of the college that they're applying to. Top tier schools will tell you right there on their mission statement what they're looking for. And if they meet that criteria and they're top students, their financial situation sometimes doesn't matter. If they want them, they'll be able to assist them and fund them. But they need to look and see if they meet the profile of the school. What is the profile? The academic requirements, the accelerated courses, the test scores, and the community service. Many of them look to see what are you giving to your community? Where are you thinking of going once you get that degree?
So there are several areas that students can seek support. For instance, there's the most popular, I would say, would be the federal financial aid process. And to apply for financial aid, one can visit here at MDC. They can visit the repository online at www.mdc.edu, and they can choose the financial aid option under the current or new student section. There will take them to a repository where they can apply online for their federal grant.
There are many ways that you can acquire some financial aid, and some of it is grants because of need, and some of them are based on your talent or your scholastic achievement, GPA.
Financial aid includes money from the federal, the state, and the school. The money from the federal will come from the financial aid, the FAFSA, is a free application for federal student aid. Students will fill out that application starting January of the senior year, and they need the parents' income tax information to complete this application. Also, the state, they have the financial aid, and that financial aid also includes Bright Future, which is the state scholarship. The students, they need to meet with a counselor to see if they're in the process of meeting all the criteria for the Bright Future. And the Bright Future, it has different criteria with GPA and test scores, and this is a great scholarship for students that are going to a public university in the state of Florida.
It's provided to students who meet the criteria, and students can find out that criteria online at the Department of Education for the state of Florida. And basically, if students who demonstrated a certain number of hours in their community service, a certain proficiency in their skills and high school grade point average, it provides some support, and of course demonstrated financial need. It provides some support for those students as well in terms of providing for their education.
Bright Futures is funded by the government to aid students from mostly middle-income families, because a lot of people, even though they don't make a lot of money, the parents don't make a lot of money, they make too much money for a Pell Grant.
Pell Grants are more than just free money. And it is money that is provided, but it is based on a financial need. The student must demonstrate financial need. So Pell Grants are provided from the federal grant and from the federal government. And these provide opportunities for students to go to school, in some cases fully funded by the grant. And I encourage students to seek those out, but again, these are all based on they have to demonstrate their financial need. And it is in many cases, especially for a first time in college student or students who are just recently exiting high school, they are going to depend upon their parent or their guardian's income in order to help determine what that financial need will be.
When the student is completing the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, they need to have all the information ready. They're going to apply online, and they need their social security number, the parents' social security number, the information, the family income tax information, or if they receive any benefits from the government, or if they have unusual circumstances and they cannot provide this information. It is important that they meet with a financial aid advisor at the college or the university where they're planning to attend as soon as possible, so they can get this information and be able to apply for the financial aid.
The FAFSA is a federal form that is in place so that we can sort of look at all of the variables for all students at once across the nation, and then make some determinations as to where they need financial aid. So you'll need income tax forms to complete it. You'll need, if you're still under your parents' filing, your parents' forms will have to be used, the IRS forms. So it's complicated in the sense that you'll need a lot of information up front to complete it. The good thing is that we have people on standby to help students complete their FAFSA forms, because we know it can be a little complicated. Recently it has been simplified, so it is not as cumbersome to complete as it used to be in the past.
Also, for students that are applying out of state and top schools, there's another application. It's called CSS Profile, that the students can find this application on the College Board website. But all the CAP advisors will assist the students with the financial aid process. They just need to know that there is more than one application.
In addition, there are other opportunities for financial support. Some families do provide for their children, and they do provide for the Florida Prepaid College. This is where parents, the Florida Prepaid program provides parents an opportunity to invest in their children's educational future by setting up an account with the state and with the bank to save money and preserve money for future use for education.
And that's something your parents can buy at a lower cost than what it would cost you to pay for tuition at the time you go to college. If you buy it for your child when they're born, it's very inexpensive. The longer you wait, the more you have to pay. And you can either, Florida Prepaid can either cover tuition and fees and dorm, or tuition and fees, or just tuition. It depends how much money your parents have and are willing to pay.
And those opportunities are there, and students can apply and they can receive, I've seen where students receive scholarships for college, and as well as the Florida Prepaid.
We also have work study where students can work here on campus part-time and get some assistance that way. And we also have scholarships through our foundation that offer students the opportunity to supplement that amount which is missing from their financial aid package. So we have them based on need, a student who basically is showing that their resources cannot cover the cost of tuition, and we have some based on merit for students that excel, that do really well academically. They can also receive assistance through our offices of financial aid.
Aside from financial aid, students should be seeking scholarship opportunities. There are all kinds of scholarships. There are scholarships for students who are involved in sports, for students who are involved in community service, for students that they have high GPA, for students that they can write a good essay. So it is important to start looking for scholarships as soon as possible.
Now, the best opportunity of all is if every student could get a scholarship. And I can't encourage students enough to get started early on scholarships. There are many places to find scholarships. Some are available that are federally. I would always recommend to students to check with their CAP advisors at their high schools, because there are continuous postings. There are deadlines to get those scholarships in, so students need to adhere to the deadlines. And then lastly, to check with the institute, the prospective institute that the student intends on attending. So at the institutes, they provide first-time in college scholarships. They provide a plethora of scholarships or opportunities to students that will help get them financially stable and ready for college.
Miami-Dade College also offers the American Dream Scholarship. How many of you guys heard of the American Dream Scholarship? The American Dream Scholarship came about a year ago, but all you have to do to qualify for the American Dream Scholarship is apply for financial aid. And if you're the type of student that can't qualify for financial aid because your parents make too much money, or because you're over income, or whatever the case may be, then there's the American Dream Scholarship offering you that opportunity. The American Dream Scholarship pays for your full tuition. All we ask is for you to have a 3.0 and for you to place college ready in your reading, writing, and math scores.
Scholarships, many scholarships are based on merit. The students can find the scholarship. All the CAP advisors, they publish a monthly newsletter with all the scholarships available, whether they're from a private sector, from the colleges and universities. Also, the students, when they're applying to the specific college and university, they need to go on to the website and see what scholarships are offered directly from the program of study or from the schools, to see if there are deadlines. Sometimes the student directly, when they're applying, they're going to be considered for scholarships.
A lot of scholarships are based either on talent. For example, at the school here, it's an arts school. But you can also get scholarships if your GPA is high. So one of the things you need to do is make sure that through middle school and high school that your grades are as good as possible.
There's the Coca-Cola scholarship, the Hispanic scholarship, and a lot of those students don't apply. And look at that. If you apply, you're probably going to get it, because students don't know about it. And now we're trying to inform students. There are scholarships through the Miami-Dade website that you need to be applying for.
There is not really a limit on how many scholarships the applications the students can complete. A lot of times they need to have a resume ready, to have a community service project. If they have a hardship, that's very important that they communicate that information as well. That we need letters of recommendation from teachers, counselors, and these scholarships, they're available. They can also go into where the parents work, the place of employment, or church, or a community service program in the area to see if they offer scholarships.
My biggest recommendation to students, if I'm a high school student and I'm graduating in the class of 2013, for instance, I would recommend that I have all my financial aid paperwork in to the government online and to the respective institute that I intend on applying to by March 15th of 2013. That gives me 4 to 6 months, at least 6 months, prior to the start of the fall to get things ready.
At the end, once they complete all these financial aid forms, the students will receive the award letter, and the award letter will explain that we receive an award letter from each of the schools. They receive acceptance, will explain how much money they're receiving. If they're receiving money in grants, loans, work study. And based on that, they will make a decision which school they're planning to attend.
Once students are here, once they get the money, they need to work hard to maintain it. So that means sticking and being committed to their education. If the scholarship, for instance, says you must maintain a minimum grade point average of a 3.0, do so. Meet with the academic advisor frequently to ensure degree completion and a success toward a career pathway. The student must be committed, and I can't stress the importance of that. It hurts me sometimes when I find students who may have fallen through the cracks, and they may have forgotten that one particular thing that was significant in continuing their scholarship, and then it's taken from them. And it's important that students understand and are reminded in that they create their own checks and balances and a support mechanism of some sort to make sure that they stay on track.